Hey, small groups, open up your Bibles to Mark chapter 14. Today we're covering verses 32 to 42, and we're going to answer this question: how should you pray in your hour of need? Because this is what we're going to see with Jesus as he is in the Garden of Gethsemane with his disciples, praying in his hour of need. The picture of Jesus there shows us the human side of Christ. And here's the first thing we're going to learn: that when you're there, you need to be honest and vulnerable in prayer. You need to be willing to share your heart with a personal God. See what I'm talking about as you read Mark 14, verses 32 to 35. Have you learned this next thing? Sometimes our wants don't line up with God's will, and it's not always a sin thing. It wasn't for Jesus. So that means that we need to be willing to submit to God's will, even if it means suffering. So read verse 36 in Mark 14, but then also read Paul's thoughts in Romans 8, verses 15 to 17. Now, the other thing that we learn in the Garden of Gethsemane is that the disciples had willing spirits, but they had weak bodies. Jesus, all throughout this whole episode, models something different, someone who let the Spirit overcome the weakness of the flesh. Go ahead and pause and read those verses. Here's the takeaway. After twice pouring out his heart to the Father, Jesus was ready for what lay ahead. At the end of the day, we too, in our time of need, must move forward, trusting God's will to be done. Go ahead and read verse 42 together. Now, as a small group, here's the question that you're going to be answering together at the end of the day. How should you pray in your hour of need? Go ahead and have the conversation. Use the discussion questions at the bottom of the lesson. And remember, to learn more, if you haven't already, make sure to listen to the full audio podcast for today's lesson.